Imagine a life where nothing can disturb your peace, where you remain unaffected by insults, challenges, or the chaos surrounding you. How powerful would it be to live in such a state of unshakable calm? Today, we will explore 8 transformative Buddhist principles that can help you achieve this unbreakable inner peace. As Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." This timeless wisdom reminds us that true serenity is cultivated from the inside out. In this video, we'll delve into these principles and uncover how to build an inner sanctuary that protects your mind and soul from life's turbulence. Let's embark on this journey together. Number 1. Insult and offense. In Buddhism, insults and offenses only hold the power we give them. When someone hurls hurtful words our way, it's easy to feel upset or angry. However, these emotions arise not because of the words themselves, but because we allow them to penetrate our inner peace. The teachings of Buddhism remind us that we have the power to choose how we respond to these external triggers. By doing so, we can maintain our calm and composure even in the face of negativity. Consider this example. Imagine a rock thrown into a pond. The impact creates ripples, disturbing the water's surface. But with time, the water returns to its natural stillness, unaffected by the initial disturbance. Our minds can function in the same way. When we encounter insults or offensive remarks, we may initially feel disturbed, but by letting go of these words, we can return to our state of inner peace. The key lies in not holding on to these negative emotions. As Buddha wisely said, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. This quote beautifully encapsulates the futility of harboring resentment or anger towards someone who has insulted us. When we cling to these emotions, we harm ourselves more than anyone else. Instead of allowing these negative feelings to fester, we can choose to release them, preserving our well-being. By recognizing that the words of others often reflect their own insecurities and struggles, we can shift our perspective. Rather than taking offense, we can view these situations with compassion. This understanding allows us to remain unaffected, seeing the insults for what they truly are, projections of another's inner turmoil. In doing so, we protect our peace and prevent external negativity from influencing our inner state. Applying this principle in our daily lives can lead to profound changes. The next time someone tries to offend or insult you, take a moment to pause and reflect. Instead of reacting, acknowledge their words, but let them pass without attaching any significance to them. In this way, you safeguard your tranquility and demonstrate the true strength of unshakable inner peace. Number 2. Transform everyone into a teacher. In Buddhism, there's a profound teaching that encourages us to see everyone we encounter as a teacher, whether they bring us joy or challenges. This perspective shifts the way we interact with the world, allowing us to view every person as a source of wisdom and growth. Whether someone uplifts us with kindness or tests our patience with difficulty, each interaction becomes an opportunity to learn something valuable about ourselves and the world around us. For example, consider how negative experiences can transform into moments of personal growth when we view others as our teachers. If someone treats us unfairly or harshly, instead of reacting with anger or resentment, we can ask ourselves, what is this person teaching me? Perhaps they are offering us a lesson in patience, compassion, or the importance of setting boundaries. By approaching situations in this way, even the most challenging encounters become valuable learning experiences. Buddha's words, "When watching after yourself, you watch after others. When watching after others, you watch after yourself," beautifully encapsulate this idea. The quote reminds us that by observing and learning from others, we simultaneously nurture our own growth. When we view others as our teachers, we not only gain insight into their behavior, but also develop a deeper understanding of our own reactions and tendencies. Adopting the mindset of seeing everyone as a teacher transforms our daily interactions. Instead of seeing difficult people or situations as obstacles, we begin to view them as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. This shift in perspective keeps us centered and resilient, as we are constantly learning and evolving through our experiences. Every person we meet, whether pleasant or challenging, contributes to our journey of self-discovery. In practice, this means that every interaction becomes a chance to learn and grow. Whether it's a brief exchange with a stranger or a deep conversation with a friend, we can approach each moment with curiosity and openness. By doing so, we keep ourselves grounded in the present, embracing the lessons life has to offer, and cultivating a deeper sense of inner peace and wisdom. Number 3. Transform envy into emulation. Envy is a common emotion that can easily take root in our minds, causing feelings of inadequacy and resentment. However, Buddhism encourages us to approach envy differently, by transforming it into emulation. Instead of allowing envy to fester and diminish our self-worth, we can use it as a catalyst for positive change. This shift in perspective allows us to see others' success as inspiration rather than a threat, motivating us to improve ourselves. For example, when we see someone excel in an area where we may feel lacking, instead of feeling envious, we can choose to admire their qualities and strive to cultivate them within ourselves. If someone is particularly skilled, confident, or kind, we can view these traits as something to aspire to. By turning envy into emulation, we channel that energy into personal growth rather than allowing it to negatively impact our self-esteem. Buddha's wisdom shines through in the quote, "Do not be jealous of others' good qualities, but out of admiration, adopt them yourself." This teaching reminds us that instead of harboring jealousy, we can admire the virtues in others and work to develop them within ourselves. It's a powerful reminder that admiration can lead to self-improvement, turning what could be a destructive emotion into a constructive one. Applying this mindset in our daily lives helps us stay positive and focused on our own growth, rather than getting caught up in comparisons. When we transform envy into emulation, we shift our attention from what we lack to what we can achieve. This not only boosts our self-confidence, but also keeps us on a path of continuous self-development. We become more resilient and less affected by the successes of others because we see them as opportunities to learn and grow. In practice, this means embracing the achievements of others as a source of motivation rather than feeling diminished by them. Each time we encounter someone who embodies qualities we admire, we can choose to see it as an invitation to improve ourselves. By focusing on emulation rather than envy, we cultivate a mindset of growth and positivity, allowing us to thrive in our own journey without being weighed down by negative comparisons. Number 4. Be strict with yourself, but tolerant of others. In Buddhism, there is a profound teaching that emphasizes the importance of holding oneself to high standards while being tolerant and understanding of others' faults. This principle encourages us to strive for personal excellence without becoming overly harsh or judgmental towards those around us. By focusing on our own growth and maintaining compassion for others, we create an environment that fosters both self-improvement and empathy. For example, imagine a situation where someone at work makes a mistake that affects your project. Instead of reacting with frustration or criticism, you can choose to address your own actions, ensuring that you've done everything in your power to contribute positively, while also offering understanding and support to your colleague. This approach not only helps you maintain your own standards, but also strengthens your relationships with others by showing patience and tolerance. Buddha's words, You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Serve as a reminder to be kind to ourselves, while also extending that kindness to others. This teaching highlights the importance of self-compassion, recognizing that while we strive for personal growth, we must also acknowledge our own humanity and the humanity of those around us. By being strict with ourselves yet tolerant of others, we create a balanced approach to life that nurtures both personal and communal harmony. Applying this mindset in everyday life helps maintain calm and composure, even when others' actions or mistakes might otherwise disturb our peace. When we are strict with ourselves, we focus on our own journey of self-improvement, holding ourselves accountable for our actions and decisions. At the same time, by being tolerant of others, we avoid the pitfalls of judgment and criticism, allowing us to remain unaffected by their faults and more focused on our path. Ultimately, this balanced approach leads to a more peaceful and resilient state of mind. By striving for personal excellence while practicing tolerance and compassion towards others, we cultivate an inner calm that is less likely to be shaken by external events. We learn to navigate life's challenges with grace, upholding our own standards without letting others' actions disrupt our tranquility. Number 5. No one can hurt you without your consent. In Buddhism, there is a powerful teaching that underscores the idea that while others' actions can be hurtful, our reaction to them is entirely within our control. This principle emphasizes the importance of personal responsibility in maintaining our inner peace. No matter what others say or do, it is ultimately our response that determines whether we are affected or remain grounded. Imagine a tree standing firm against strong winds. The wind may blow fiercely, but the tree, with its deep roots and sturdy trunk, remains unshaken. Similarly, we can cultivate inner strength to withstand life's challenges without being deeply affected by external forces. By understanding that we have the power to choose our reactions, we take control of our emotional well-being and protect our peace from being disturbed by others. Buddha's words, "No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path," remind us of the importance of self-reliance in our journey toward inner peace. This quote highlights that we alone are responsible for our responses, and that our strength lies in how we choose to react to external events. By acknowledging this, we empower ourselves to remain resilient in the face of adversity. To build this resilience, focus on practices such as meditation and mindfulness. These practices help us develop the awareness and mental clarity needed to navigate life's challenges without being overwhelmed by them. By regularly engaging in these practices, we strengthen our ability to maintain inner calm and protect ourselves from being hurt by others' words or actions. Ultimately, by recognizing that no one can hurt us without our consent, we take ownership of our emotional state. We learn to respond to life's challenges with grace and composure, ensuring that our inner peace remains unshaken, regardless of what others may do. This approach empowers us to live with greater freedom, unburdened by the actions or words of others. Number 6. The power of acceptance. In Buddhism, acceptance is a cornerstone of inner peace. It involves embracing things as they are without resistance or judgment, recognizing that much of our suffering comes not from the events themselves, but from our desire to change or control them. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. Rather, it means acknowledging reality without letting it disturb our peace. Consider the example of fighting against the current of a river. The more you resist, the more exhausted and frustrated you become. But when you accept the flow of the river, you can navigate it more effectively, conserving your energy and moving with greater ease. Similarly, in life, when we accept situations as they are, we reduce the inner turmoil that comes from wishing things were different. Buddhist teaching, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be, captures the essence of this practice. This quote encourages us to live in the present moment, free from the burdens of past regrets or future anxieties. By focusing on acceptance, we can cultivate a peaceful state of mind that remains steady, even in the face of challenges or uncertainties. Practicing acceptance helps us reduce suffering and maintain a state of calm and contentment, regardless of our circumstances. When we stop resisting reality, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and frustration, allowing us to approach life with a clear and open mind. This shift in perspective not only enhances our well-being, but also empowers us to respond to life's challenges more effectively. Ultimately, the power of acceptance lies in its ability to bring us peace. By embracing life as it is, we can let go of the need to control everything and instead find serenity in the present moment. This practice enables us to live with greater ease and joy, unburdened by the struggles that come from resistance and judgment. Number 7. Live according to nature. Living according to nature is a profound principle in Buddhism that encourages us to align our lives with the natural world and its rhythms. By doing so, we stay grounded and connected to the greater cycles of life, which fosters a deep sense of peace and balance. Nature operates in a harmonious flow, and when we attune ourselves to this flow, we can experience a more fulfilling and less stressful life. An excellent example of this is found in the changing seasons. Each season represents a different phase of life. Spring symbolizes growth, summer abundance, autumn decay, and winter rest. These cycles remind us that change is not only inevitable, but also necessary. Just as trees shed their leaves in autumn to prepare for new growth in spring, we too must embrace the natural cycles of growth, decay, and renewal in our lives. Buddha's words, just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life, highlight the importance of nurturing our spiritual connection with nature. Just as the candle relies on fire to fulfill its purpose, we rely on our connection to the natural world to live fully and meaningfully. This connection serves as a foundation for our physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. When we align ourselves with nature's cycles, we promote not only our physical health, but also our mental well-being. Rising with the sun, eating seasonal foods, and taking time to rest and reflect during the quieter seasons can help us maintain a balanced and harmonious life. This alignment reduces stress and enhances our ability to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. Ultimately, living according to nature helps us remain centered and at peace, no matter what life throws our way. By embracing the natural rhythms of the world around us, we cultivate a deeper connection to life itself, allowing us to move through the world with a sense of ease and purpose. Number 8. Focus on ethical living. Focusing on ethical living is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice and involves adhering to principles such as honesty, compassion, and respect for all living beings. This approach to life not only enhances our interactions with others, but also fosters a deeper sense of integrity and inner peace. By aligning our actions with ethical values, we create a foundation that supports a more harmonious and fulfilling existence. For instance, practicing honesty in our daily lives builds trust and reliability, which are essential for nurturing positive relationships and a supportive community. When we are honest, we lay the groundwork for meaningful connections and mutual respect. This transparency helps to avoid misunderstandings and conflicts, contributing to a more peaceful and cooperative environment. Buddha's quote, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become," underscores the profound impact of our thoughts and actions on our lives. When we focus on ethical living, our actions reflect our inner values, shaping our character and influencing the world around us. By embodying principles of honesty, compassion, and respect, we create a positive ripple effect that extends beyond ourselves. Applying ethical living in our daily lives helps us maintain a foundation of integrity that shields us from the negative influences of the world. By making choices that align with our values, we reinforce our commitment to living a life of purpose and meaning. This ethical framework not only supports our own well-being, but also contributes to the greater good of our communities. Ultimately, focusing on ethical living empowers us to navigate life with a clear sense of purpose and moral clarity. It provides a strong foundation for personal growth and resilience, helping us to remain centered and unaffected by external challenges. By adhering to these principles, we cultivate a life of integrity and harmony, creating a positive impact on both ourselves and the world around us. Conclusion. In conclusion, embracing these 8 Buddhist principles can profoundly transform our approach to life and help us achieve unbreakable inner peace. By understanding that insults and offenses only hold power if we allow them, viewing everyone as a teacher, transforming envy into emulation, being strict with ourselves but tolerant of others, recognizing that no one can hurt us without our consent, practicing acceptance, living in harmony with nature, and focusing on ethical living, we create a resilient and serene inner sanctuary. As Buddha wisely said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." By integrating these teachings into our lives, we cultivate a lasting calm and balance that remains unaffected by the external chaos.